Fabulous.
Perfect.
There we are. So that's me. So basically, Leanne asked me to discuss the Scribblers tour. I think mainly because I post about it so much on Twitter. So it's a really brief presentation, just talking you through what the Hay Festival Scribblers tour is, how you can get involved, and the benefits of it, really. So key information. It's an annual tour that visits several universities in South Wales. So representatives from the Hay Festival, authors, and other representatives basically travel around, I think it's 4 or 5 universities in Wales. They start up in North Wales, I think in Wrexham and Aberystwyth, then they go to, and then they come down to Swansea, Cardiff University, and then I think they go to the University of South Wales. It's established, they involve established and published authors that change every year. They've got 2 separate dates as well. So they've got the first week is usually for year 7 and 8 pupils. So the authors that are involved in that week's events are suitable for those types of age ranges. And then the second week is for year 9 and 10 pupils, and the authors then are more suitable for older pupils. Involves interactive writing workshops that aid pupils in their creative writing. And they are really interactive. So the authors start off by giving a talk about how they got into writing, and they do it. The authors do vary. So you'll have like fiction writers, or for example, yesterday we had Benjamin Dean, who used to be a reporter and a non-fiction writer, a journalist. So they've got, and it's really engaging. So they'll start by talking about how they got into writing, and then they talk about what inspires them, how they actually approach writing, and then they get the pupils to write their own work with them, and then they ask the pupils to kind of share it as well. And again, it does get quite lively, to be honest, because as it goes on, the pupils get more confident in sharing what they've written. Authors spend time with the pupils. There are opportunities for questions at the end as well, and book signings. Resources are provided and access to more online. So even if you aren't able to book tickets to go, the resources, and they are fantastic resources, are available on the Hay Festival page. I'll share that with you later on. It's an opportunity for pupils to tour the universities as well. And I was, pupils that go, or most of the pupils actually that go, have never been to a university before, or their family members haven't been to a university before. So it's a really good opportunity, not only for them to go there and be in the lecture theatre and see these authors, but actually afterwards we have a little tour and just to see what university looks like. There is travel funding available through the Arts Council of Wales, because it's free of charge, the tour, so you don't actually have to pay for your tickets. But obviously, if you wanted to get travel funding, it is available to you as well to apply for. So how we've run the tour at Islwyn. I did actually start this tour. I did start taking people, to the tour when I was in Mountain Ash a few years ago now. And we went to the University of South Wales, and it was the reason I've carried on doing it, because I had a pupil that was in year 8 at the time, and Karan Millward Hargrave was there. And this pupil was like her biggest fan in the entire world. And Karan actually came over and met her and signed her books. And this girl was just in floods of tears. And I just thought from then on, we have to, continue doing this. So when I moved to Islwyn, we've continued doing it for the last couple of years now. So the way we've run it here then is we've endeavoured to include aspiring writers, particularly pupils who are involved in our creative writing debate club. So it's kind of like a reward trip to they give up their lunch times every week or twice a week for debate club, and it's a nice opportunity for them to see where their writing and their efforts can take them. We do try to prioritise MAP pupils who have struggled with their writing. I've noticed this last couple of years in particular that we've got really capable pupils, MAP pupils. I was just talking about it in the breakout room. The struggle sometimes with how to structure writing, how to get it down, but all the ideas of it is just actually how they approach it. But we also then prioritise RADI pupils, so we pupils with free school meal qualification. So a third of our pupils that we take with us qualify for free school meals. providing free transport. So I book the minibuses here. I'm not able to drive a minibus, so we always have one of the PE staff taking us down there. I promote the event then on social media platforms, and we've got departmental newsletters that we write about in there as well. And pupils are always really excited then to see, you know, them online with an author, and parents like to get involved with that as well. And it allows us to build relationships with representatives and authors. And on the occasions I've been down there, Anya Venables, who is the Scribblers tour kind of lead, she, you know, she's remembered us and remembers my name and has a good chat and says, you know, you need to come to schools day, and the authors as well. So like yesterday, for example, one of our year 8 pupils, Joseph, he's an aspiring dancer. So Benjamin Dean, who's, you know, interviewed many famous people, he wrote on his book something along the lines of, you know, when you're a famous dancer, I can't wait to interview you. So it's just building those really important relationships and allowing pupils to see, you know, where they could be if they work hard. So pupil feedback based on, I ran one trip last Wednesday. They do tend to be the last week of January, the first week of February. So we were only able to take 15 pupils last week and this week due to cover restrictions because we've got staff off. So unfortunately, I normally take 30. I could only take 15 because we could only take the one bus. So I've sent a questionnaire out to the pupils that I took last Wednesday and the pupils I took yesterday. I haven't had as many responses as I would like. I've only had 16 so far, because you know, obviously the question only went out last night to the year 9. So this is what they've said back though. So how often do they usually read? So as you can see, you know, we've got some avid readers there every day. Half of them read every day, and then the majority read, you know, at least 3 to 4, 5, 6 days a week. And then, do you enjoy creative writing? I was really positively, I felt really positive about this because creative writing, you know, sometimes you say it's because they either love it or hate it. They kind of have a really extreme reaction either way. But, you know, most of the pupils there enjoyed it very much, and some obviously enjoyed it as well. So that was really reassuring to see. So one of the questions I asked was, what was your favourite part of the trip? So I'm just going to read through some of the responses. This is everything I've had. I hope there's nothing untoward in there, but this is what the pupils have said themselves. So listen to the people. The man that rapped at the end. So we had Carl Nova last Wednesday, who's a poet, and the pupils gave him a selection of random words, and he rapped them at the end in rhyming couplets. They absolutely loved that. Someone said, I enjoyed it when we wrote a paragraph based on one picture and made our own poem. And obviously pupils very rarely like poetry, so that was really nice to see. I'm not sure if I had one favourite bit of the day, but I especially enjoyed listening to the others' ideas on the Emma Carroll session. Emma Carroll was there last Wednesday, and writing a short story, listening to the raps and funny stories in the Carl Nova session, and making up my own creative writing story with prompts on how to structure it in the final session. My favourite part of the day in Swansea was meeting the different authors throughout the day, all of it, doing the creative writing and planning a story. They actually really enjoyed planning, and I think I took some pupils that were in my class in year 7, and one of them in particular, a boy, Jack, he's really, really able, but he just struggles to write a lot. And I couldn't believe how much he wrote on the day. He just wrote loads, but actually breaking down the planning process and having that plan in his mind allowed him just to write so much more. Meeting Carl Nova, I loved mostly all of it. My favourite part was the poetry with John Nova, aka Carl Nova, that's meant to be. When Carl Nova told us about his books and done a freestyle with the words we gave him, the professor explained how to write at the end. So at the end of the tour last Wednesday, I'm not sure if it's because of weather, they didn't do a tour of the university. They had a creative writing professor come in and explain the process of creative writing to them. I couldn't believe how much they wrote. They wrote absolutely loads. The end part where you got to build the blueprints of a story, or the first bit with the last talking about sexism. So Laura Bates was there yesterday. I'll talk more about that in a minute. Meeting, talking to and listening to the authors' stories and how they started their career, creating my own story at the end, meeting the authors, learning about the books, listening to Laura Bates talk about how sexism is very much still around. And even though society deceives people into thinking it isn't, and getting books signed. So that last but one comment was because Laura Bates was there yesterday, and she was discussing, you know, the context of why she got into writing, and she was talking about, you know, sexism in the UK, and it was really interesting to see some of the pupils' reactions, because we had year 9 pupils with us yesterday, and yeah, some of them, even, you know, the boys as well, they had a really strong reaction to what she said, and it got them writing, definitely. So it's interesting to see one of them say that afterwards. How has the trip affected your views on reading and or writing? So it's helped me understand how to plan a story better. I think it's made me more interested in creative writing, as it is fun and you have a free choice of what you want to create. Now, that is a boy in year 7. I know that's him because he actually said it to me just after the trip. I said, look, you've written loads today, you don't write that much in class, what's the difference? And he said it's having the free choice. And I thought that was really interesting. You know, when we give a topic or a specific writing task and then they struggle to kind of engage with that topic, actually sometimes give them a bit of free rein. We've done free writing as well. I know other schools do it locally. But he said just having that free choice of writing wherever he wanted to just really helped him to just get it all down. The trip made me especially keen to begin writing my own stories, mostly based off the ones created on the trip. That was lovely to hear. The amazing experience helped me to understand a lot more about creative writing and some things that I've read as well. Some pupils are very specific in what they've taken from it, and I think that's not necessarily a bad thing. So one pupil learned how to write a haiku poem, really enjoyed that. It's definitely given me a wider understanding of how to use different writing techniques and different forms of writing. I have started a story on my Chromebook. Yeah, a lot of them went away. I wanted to become authors, which was lovely. I want to try and read and write more. It made me think about writing more, and just something as simple as that I think is really crucial. Just thinking about it more and actually breaking down the process instead of just writing down and rushing and you know, not having enough pride in your work. So I think just thinking about it for pupils is really important. I think the trip has improved my writing skills. It hasn't changed much. So, you know, and I'm not sure that not some pupils were already avid writers, so it might not necessarily change their views. I definitely enjoy more of a variety of book than I used to read, maybe more motivated. It's affected my views about reading and writing because it's made me more interested in different genre. It's made me become a lot more interested, it's meant to say, in creative writing. It's also given me tips on how to improve my creative writing. And then lastly, it's made me realise how influential it can be. And actually, it was really lovely to see the pupils kind of understand the relevance of English, I think, in the wider world. And, you know, it is inspirational for them to look at to look at authors like Benjamin Dean and Carl Nova and Laura Bates and Emma Carroll, because they can actually see where writing can take them. And I think, you know, some pupils, we hear it a lot, they'll say, well, why do I need that for? Why do I need to learn about Of Mice and Men? Why do I need to learn about poetry? But actually, I think seeing real life people who've done very well and become very successful through it, I think that, you know, it is influential for them. And not just fiction writers, so non-fiction writers as well. So getting involved, there is a link there to the Scribblers page. So just using the link, you can receive updates. You can register online, and they will email you when the tickets are available. It's normally in November. Obviously, there are like limited spaces, so you've got to book within like 5-10 minutes of the link being sent out. So I set a reminder on my phone of the date, because obviously they email you to let you know when it's going to come out. I set a reminder on my phone so I could get straight on it and book the tickets. There are teaching materials available. These are really useful. We've used them in our creative writing club. The Beacons project as well is something I heard about when I was in Mountain Ash. We haven't got a sixth form here at Islwyn, but if you have got a sixth form, it's a program that talented writers can join, and they can go up to Hay Festival and work with really, you know, renowned authors, poets, and engage in writing workshops there as well. And then I think I mentioned earlier about the Schools Day, Hay Festival Schools Day on the 20th of Feb. The places are available to book for, so you can book on the 20th of Feb. I think the dates are I want to say the 23rd and 24th of May for Schools Days. But yeah, you've got to book them obviously end of this month. They are free of charge, but you can apply for funding through the Arts Council of Wales. I wasn't sure if I could share pictures or videos of like the pupils at the Scribblers tour. So I've linked my Twitter there if you want to have a look at any pictures or videos of the day, just so you can see how it looks in practice. but yeah, it's definitely a worthwhile thing to apply for. It's free. The pupils love it. It does give them a bit of a boost, and allows them to see, you know, where their learning is going to take them essentially. I'm not on commission for the Hay Festival, can I just say? But yeah, I think that is everything now. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen.